We are still waiting to hear where exactly the statue that Trump supporters have named Don Colossus may end up. It is 15 feet tall, finished with gold leaf, a $300,000 bronze appealing to Trump's fondness for things done in his honor. He's called the statue fantastic. That same kind of appeal has now found its way into planning for America's 250th birthday celebration, a celebration that also includes soliciting donors for $1 million and up in exchange for access to the president. New York Times reporter Ken Vogel is behind that story. He joins me now. So, Ken, a decade ago, a bipartisan commission was established by Congress to plan the, I guess you'd call them, traditional celebrations for the 250th birthday of the country. But give us your reporting on this other group making plans.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. The original group, America 250, it was called, was well into its planning and had been working with the Trump folks. In fact, there was a Trump ally who was appointed executive director of this, but there was some tension, and that executive director got fired for what the America 250 folks called a breach of trust. And so as this tension played out, the Trump folks essentially started their own group. It's called Freedom 250, and it's working, to hear them say it, in parallel with this America 250. But there are certainly concerns that it's taking the planning for the 250th anniversary of independence in a very Trumpian direction.
For $2.5 million, mega donors, I understand, have an opportunity to actually speak at the big July 4th celebration. Is there any other requirement than being rich to speak at such an typically auspicious occasion?
Well, if you actually look we got a hold of this solicitation that Freedom 250 is circulating among donors and prospective donors. And if you look in the fine print of the offer for donors who give $2.5 million or more to speak at the July 4th celebration, it's space is very limited or something to that effect. So it's not necessarily everyone who gives $2.5 million. But yeah, they're certainly dangling that, and they're dangling a number of other perks, including, as you mentioned, access to Trump at a reception where you can take a photograph with him. And this sort of brings it into line with like a number of other fundraising efforts that the president has continued to pursue in his second term, which is sort of unusual because, of course, he can't run again. So it's not like he's raising money for re-election, but he's found a number of other ways to solicit big money from major donors, including the ballroom, the Kennedy Center renovation, and now this Freedom 250. And it certainly raises concerns that companies or interests or people who have something at stake, who have an interest in federal government policy, could use these donations to get in front of them and pitch their case.
There are so many great parts of reporting in this. One of my favorites is the taxpayer money used to buy mobile trucks to bring history into America. I recommend this story to folks. Ken Vogel, thank you for coming in. Much appreciated.